Okay, y'all, I pulled the push pin out, and you're gonna lift this up. You can just lift it up, twist it over. What I like to do, because I like everything to be the same way. So when you lift this piece up, this is gonna turn. If you can see here, see how this lip, the rubber washer has a groove for that lip. So I just like to take pliers, and I like to just turn it myself, so I know it's going to go right back to the same place. And that lifts up out the way. You see that? No damage, nothing in here. Or this is a 4-cylinder, so here's the coil for the ignition coils for the spark plugs. All right, we're going to take them off. Here's the 10mm screw to take off, but I told you I was going to replace the connectors, which are these things here. I'm going to cut these wires and replace them with the new connectors. But I'll show you how to release one. See the red tab? You just click it back. See that? And then you just work. You work it off like so. All right. Yeah, sorry. You work it off. Take it off. And there's your engine coil. I'll show you how they look. Where's the new one? See, looks like that. And it sits in there. As you can see, that's the top of it. Okay? So, let's get to removing it. Okay, so I have my socket, my adapter, and the 10mm drive. Just gonna drive it out now. Now I'm gonna show you how to do one. I'm gonna do them all, but I'm not gonna record the process of me doing it all. Just gonna do one for you, so we know how to do it. So break that, and there we go. Let's get it loose. And again, if you get a code reading chamber 2, chamber 1, whatever, you don't have to change them all. But for me, in this case, I'm going to change it all. I had this car for 6.5 years, and this hasn't been done. So it's time for it to be done. That's why I'm doing them all, just everything, so I don't have to face it shortly after repairing one. I got to do the other. So, boom, that's the old coil. Took it out, the old engine coil. And if you do decide to go one at a time, or do, people like to put them in the order they came out, but me, and that's what I would like to do too. But like I said, since I'm changing them all brand new, it doesn't matter the order I do it. All right, so down in this hole, there is your spark plug. And you see the length on this. So we're gonna grab our spark plug drive and our extension. All right, we're gonna take the spark plug out. Okay, so I got the extension and an extension for the extension, okay? So I can just be certain that it's gonna reach to the spark plug. Now, when you do this, you just wanna make sure, to be easy, make sure that you're set on that spark plug to drive it out and to tighten it up. All right. And for those, sometimes you might want to buy, I went and got it, but I didn't need to. But I bought it anyway, and I'll need it for future repairs, I'm sure. But it's always good to have the magnetic pickup tool. All right, the magnetic pickup tool, and I'm going to show you right now. I got mine from AutoZone. I got this one for about $10. It extends, you know, so if I drop any screw or bolt or whatever, I can go down there and pick it up, you know, like so. It's pretty good, strong one. They got different ones that pick up to 16 pounds. So yeah, it's always good to have that if you intend to if you see any repairing in your future. It's good to have that because people drop things all the time and you might not think you would drop it, but it happens. A screw, a bolt, a washer might fall down and where you can't reach it. So let me see. Usually, let me see if I'm ready for the spark plug. And so with the spark plug extension, it's not magnetic, but because of the fit, it should draw out the spark plug. Boom, and there you have it. There's the spark plug. Okay. And I showed you how to gauge it, which I already did. I already gauged this one. Another thing you want to do when you replace the spark plug and put them in is just put some anti-seize on any side of this, because when you put it in there, it's gonna grease the threads. And that's what anti-seize is. It's just grease. And that way, when you take out the spark plug next time, it won't be seized. It won't be like almost rusted together or welded together because of the heat on the sparks and stuff. So I'm gonna put this back in. Another trick to putting them in is you wanna make sure it's seated right. You don't get the feel, make sure it's going in even, because you don't want to mess up the tread, all right? You don't want to mess up that. You don't want to strip it, and you don't want to over tighten it either. So what I'll do is I'm gonna get it hand tight. I know the professionals probably have like a torque wrench or something. They know what to torque it at. But I just put it hand tight, and then I'm gonna turn it like, well, it's tight. Once it gets hand tight, it's tight. I'm just tightening it up a little bit with the ratchet. And you do that for all four, and you've successfully removed all your coils and changed your ignition coils. And like I said, the same way you took the ignition coil out, that's the same way you put the new one back in. I'll show you that when I put the new one in, but first I want to go ahead and cut the wire of this connector and put the new one on. So let me show you guys my plan. All right, as you can see, all the clips connectors. Again, this is the wire, the connector, and it goes into this main. So does the other connectors. So I'm not gonna mess with the main. I'm just gonna change the connector from maybe this point here. Maybe I'll cut that off. And again, it's two wires. You know, you just gotta know what's positive, what's negative. Here it reads pretty clear, red and black. But here you see there's blue and there's white with a brown line on it. And anytime you have anytime the wire has another color on it, I think that would be your main, that would be the hot wire. Okay, any solid wire would be the ground wire. If it came in a combination of a striped wire and a solid wire, that's what it would mean. I think I'm saying that right. You can also Google that, which I'm gonna do in a minute, and I'll let you know for sure what I'm talking about. I like to back up what I say. So yeah, I have my electrical tape. That's gonna be my housing, like this is. So I'm gonna cut it, and I'm gonna replace it with the new one, and I'm gonna wrap it. You know, you wanna always secure your wires. anything you do. I don't care if you're in a house or if you're just, fixing a speaker. You want to secure your wiring. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and clip these off, and yeah, and I'll come back in. Okay, I did some research. So with the wire, when you have a wire, Google says when you have two wires, one solid and one with a stripe. As you can see, this brown one has a yellow stripe, or the yellow wire has a brown stripe, whichever way you want to say. But when it is like that, if you have two solid wires, but one has a different stripe color, I'm sorry guys, but it lets you know that usually the positive, the stripe is the negative, and the solid is the positive. Okay? So stripe is negative, and solid is positive. Positive color. Solid color wire is usually positive, and the stripe wire is negative. All right, there we have it. And if you have a multimeter meter, it'd be better to use that, which I have one, and it's not on my person. It's actually in another town, but it's good to have it. So let's get back to it. As you can see, I got my clips up. What's going on? Hold on, sorry guys. Yeah. All right, here we go. So I got the clips standing up, ready to clip them. I jumped the gun and I clipped this one too short, but it ain't a problem. I can fix it. All right, so I'm gonna get back to it. As you can see, I'm doing my connectors first, and then I'm gonna take out the rest of the ignition coils and change those. All right. So I want to show you the one I put in there. I wired. See, I got the positive wire to the solid blue, the negative to the brown and yellow. And then just like this, I'm going to individually wrap these until they're secure, and then I'm going to collectively wrap the wires together so it can look like that. Okay? And the new clip is installed. The new connector is installed. So 3 more to go. So again, they're all gonna look like that after being repaired. I got them all rewired, and they will look like that. All right, they're all replaced, rewired, and rewrapped. Now I'm gonna take the old coils out and put the new ones in. And I show y'all again. 10mm drive. Loosen it up. Boom, and out it comes. You got for all 4. Okay. As you can see, they're all replaced. Clips and coils. One issue I had while tightening this bolt, it broke off. So now I'm gonna have to drill down and get this bolt out so I can put the new one in. All right, I was able to take it out, and I didn't have to use the drill because I was able to lift this up over since the head broke off and just screw the stub out. Now I got the old one and I'm gonna put that in there. Cool. We avoided lots of trouble. And then we're done. And that is how you change your engine coils. And then you put the top back on, the beauty top, clip it down, and you're good to go. I'm gonna do it. All right, everybody, we got those done. Clips and coils. And it's time to put this back down. As I told you, I like to use my wrench. I can put it back in the right position. All right, it's back now. Make sure the grooves line up. Yep. Clip is in there. Let's get the beauty cover. See the 4 clips I was telling you about in the beginning? Here, here, wait, oh, here, and here. And this is what they clip onto. See that? That. That. And then that. That. So we get that back on there. Okay, everybody, the FeroDasian that's out there, that's been Minor Mechanicz, and that's how to change your spark plugs, your ignition coils, and the connectors. Until next time, take care of yourselves and the ones you love, and you know, look for more minor mechanics that we need to do. It's always good to learn something about something. All right, until next time again, take care of the ones you love and take care of yourselves. FeroDas, I'm out, y'all. I've been your host with the most from city to city. Yes, y'all, coast to coast. FeroDas, Minor Mechanicz. Deuces.